everybody, how are you? I hope you are doing fine. Let's continue our tutorials. Today we go to see how to make clouds. First step is to make a sky color, because usually when you make clouds they are a bit on gray tones more or less, and since this checker here in front of you is quite gray, the clouds maybe are not very visible. So let's go to make it just bluish. Can make a brighter blue or a darker one, how you prefer, and let's go to color this like this. And since we are already here on this layer, why not let's go to draw a little light source. I go to make, as in the previous tutorials, a little shape of the sun. Here we go, let's make a circle, and let's go to make a little arrow. Here we go. This is the direction from where the light is coming, so from the top left side. Now let's go to make a new layer, and let's lock this one here. So don't forget, we lock this always. We can also hide and unhide this one here whenever we like. Now let's go to make maybe a second layer, and let's go on the lower here. Now I show you how we can go to draw a base shape of our clouds. There are many techniques to do this. Let's see the first one with the contour tool. I go to select it. This is the one that we saw already last time. I make it of a other color so we can see it very well as shape. Later I delete it. Let's make it like this. So what you basically do is trying to draw circles. Okay, so this is a little bit the contour tool, which is a very interesting tool, but it's not the optimal one. You can also add things. So basically you make circles here and there. This is the first one. The second one that I like also quite a lot, but still it's not maybe the optimal one, but there are many which are using it, is to make many circular masks. One is here. Don't forget to press this one, the one which is adding selections. So this is adding many different circles to it. Here we go. You can see that slowly you create a sort of mask which has many circles over there. Here we go. Let's make another one here. And when you have finished, let's make it maybe a other color. You go simply to color it. Here we go. So these two techniques can be used, but honestly I found out that there's a other one which is maybe better than both of them. Let's go back and let's go to draw a nice shape with this tool here, the one which is making ellipses and circles. Let's choose it out. I go to choose a gray color, maybe not too dark, not too bright, because later we have to add highlights and shadows, so you must be careful about the value over there. Let's make a main shape. Here we go. Let's make a very nice cloud over there. You can get crazy with the shapes. Don't be shy. Make the cloud that you like. Here we go. So you see many circles, many nice circles, and you can add always something over there. You can, you see, make smaller ones, you can make bigger ones. Let's imagine that this one is continuing here and makes a bigger blob over here. So you see, just make nice circles here and there. Later, if you are not happy with the result, let's not forget that we can delete with the eraser tool. Okay, here we go, make a blob here, nice one here. That's a quite big looking cloud. Here we go. So this is the shape that I choose to do. Of course, you can spend a little bit more time making something more accurate. As tutorial, of course, here I try to make something a bit quicker, otherwise you spend too much time here just for the base shape. But usually when you make artwork, take your time. Remember, art needs time, so you like to make things in a very professional way, something that looks amazing, and this is why we go to do it using a lot of time. Now let's go to change a bit the color. In my opinion, it is a little bit too bright, something like this. This is the base color, okay, without highlights and without any shadowing. Let's continue. The next step is to take the magic wand tool. I click this one here, and as you can see, now we have a mask around. I'll show you a sample. You see, we have masked only the clouds. I would avoid, in this case, to draw an outline. Of course, you can do this, absolutely, if it's something according to your taste, or maybe if it's fitting to the project that you are doing, you can also add an outline. But in this case, I prefer to have no outlines. So I go now to draw the highlights of the cloud. I take something of, a very light orange color, because as you can see, there's the sun over there. Sunlight is not white, it's yellowish orange, very bright, and we choose something like this. Maybe a bit brighter, maybe even a bit brighter. Here we go. Something like this. Now I go to the contour tool, and what I have to do is basically this. According to the direction of the sun, I go to draw almost half circles, which are empty. I show you here, and then I erase it. Something like this. Reminds a bit the moon, okay? Like a half moon with the colored part facing the sun. Okay, so the sun is here, the colored part is facing the sun. And now, wherever you see a circle, you try more or less to draw this half moon. Sometimes also a bit more irregular, because in this way we are able to give really the impression that the cloud has also smaller blobs inside, smaller shapes inside. So something like this. Try to be creative, because a cloud like this one here needs a little bit of creativity. Here we go. Also maybe here below a little bit. Then remember that we have also this side here. Not everything perfect, okay? Make purposely a few imperfections over there, because this will give you really the impression of having a real cloud over there. There's no perfect cloud. The wind is going to bring here and there the shapes of the cloud, so nothing is perfect in nature. Of course, it is perfect because it's made from our Lord, so everything is perfect, but I mean, for our eye, it looks imperfect. Now, let's go to consider the center part over there. Let's imagine that also here we have these circles, but inside, which now are not visible because everything has the same value, but they become suddenly visible if I make these half moon shapes. Let's make a bigger one here. See? So it seems really that they are sitting an outer piece of cloud. A few make them bigger, a few make them smaller, okay? This way we are able really to give structure to our cloud. A little happy guy over there. And this is how now our cloud is looking like. Already quite good, I would say. What we are missing now is the opposite side, which are the shadows. I go to pick this color, so with the picker or with Alt and holding Alt and pressing with the mouse over there, you pick the color, and now we make it a little bit on blue, a little bit bluish. And we go with the mouse here. You see, I make it a little bit bluish. What we go to do now is exactly the same, but on the opposite side. So a half moon maybe a little bit smaller because shadow should be not too big. On the other side, here we go. You see, you don't even need to close this one here. You can just give the indication, so like this. So don't try to make everything mathematical like a robot. Let's try to be a bit more artistic. Let's make things without too much perfection. I know that in the world of pixel artists, everything is really very mathematical, but in my opinion, if you go to make everything same, every art looks the same at the end. So every artist has the same style, but we try to be a bit different. Why not? I mean, you can do it with a so small effort to be a bit different. People will love your stuff. Make your experiments. Don't be shy. This is something that people later will really love because they will say your art looks very special, your artwork is different, and so on. So this is, you see, our cloud. We have already done the majority of everything. What we are missing now are a few details here and there. I go to pick this color and I make it even brighter. So this is the last highlight. A little bit here, a little bit there. Okay, here we go. Not everywhere. Where you think that we need it a bit more, we are adding it here and there, just on the spikes of our spheres here and there. So this is almost finished. The last thing is this one here. I go to undo the mask. Here we go. And now I go to I go to create a new mask, which is adding the main color and the shadow. Let's try. The main color and the shadow. Here we go. Something like this. Not everywhere. Mostly here on the bottom and on the right side, where we have the shadow. Now, there's another thing that you can do. It's not necessary, but I like to do that because it gives you a bit more the impression of depth. I pick the color here again of the shadow. I make it even more darker and a bit more bluish. And now with the contour tool and a very low number of opacity, let's try it out here, even lower, we go to colorize this right side. Consider this one here as a big sphere, so a unique big sphere, which we give a new big shadow over there, because here in the moment you have many small spheres, but we can consider this one big object. So I go to make something like this, twice, maybe a little bit more. Here we go, one time, second time, also here, one time, second time. Same thing for the highlights, if you like. You see, it's giving really depth to everything. Now, we can go to a yellowish, very bright one color. Put a bit more. Let's go to add a new mask, the midtones and the highlights, like this. You can see this technique is a very easy technique to make very nice clouds. Takes just a little bit time, a bit of practice, but you can do it, so don't think that it's a hard thing to do. Now I go to colorize everything like this, like before. So I give the impression that the cloud on the left side is closer to the sun. Here we go. Let's go to see the result. This is our cloud. So you see, the technique is not complicated. You need just to follow a few steps, and then you make beautiful clouds. After all the steps, if you like, you can go to Edit and Adjustment. And here we have very cool tools which are able to change a little bit the entire aspect of our cloud. For example, brightness and contrast. You can make everything brighter or more contrast. Maybe it's a very dark weather outside, so there's a storm coming up, and you can change all these things here. You see the contrast of the highlights to make it a very dark cloud. It's so easy. Once you made it one time, it's easy to change everything. Another thing that we can do is to edit, adjustment, and hue and saturation. Basically, if you like, you can change a little bit the entire values of our colors. For example, the H, which is the hue, replaces the existing color with the other one. So what you can do is maybe from more yellow you go on more red, if it's a sunset, for example, okay? And you can play around. The saturation makes it more grayish, you see. The color disappears, or if you go to a positive one, it becomes very saturated and very strong. So you can add so many cool effects, it's incredible. Just play a bit around. And another tool which is very nice is here in adjustment, the color curve, which basically makes a bit the same things like we saw before, but through a curve where you press, and now if you move this little vertex that you have created, you can see it's a mix of everything that we saw before. See how cool you can change everything in such an easy way, and you have such a nice cloud over there. This one not, sorry, just this one. And click OK, and here we go. Isn't this a very sweet cloud? So easy to do, and I mean, just follow the tutorial, make your circles, and boom, you have a great cloud over there. I hope that you like it, this tutorial. For me, it's a very important thing that you subscribe and you put a like, and that you comment also this video. First of all, let me know if you like it. And second thing, which is even more important, tell me what you'd like to see in the next times, because I'm gathering all the ideas of you, and maybe if you like to see how to make trees, I can make trees. If you like to know how to make other things, I go to do it for you. So just write me the things. Thank you very much. Have a nice day and make the most beautiful clouds that you can do. Bye bye.